Opening the Jerusalem Post diplomatic conference on Thursday, President Shimon Peres answered questions from the Post editor-in-chief Steve Lindy about renewed peace efforts between Israel and the Palestinians and the apparent changes in the Iranian political scene.
It's a real honor to have you here today, Mr. President, in front of the diplomatic community who know you and love you, and I'm sure have heard you talk before, but let's play a little bit of verbal ping pong if you don't mind. What do you think of Hassan Rouhani? Is he bluffing?
Well, I think it's a part of a new puzzle. I do believe that people really voted for him. Not because he's a total revolutionary, but because all of the candidates, he was the least extreme and the more reasonable. But I think we have to, you know, all of us are concerned about the size, the richness of the uranium. But I think we have to have a full picture. I think there's obviously a debate going on in Iran. But I think Rouhani represents, in Iranian terms, a moderate position.
Let's bring it back to the situation here and the talks with the Palestinians. We've had about a dozen rounds of talks, maybe more, with the Palestinians since they resumed. Avigdor Lieberman says the PA President Mahmoud Abbas, Abu Mazen, isn't a partner for peace. Do you still believe he is?
Well, if you don't have peace, you don't have partners. What you have to make from non-partners, partners. I mean, you negotiate for peace because you don't have partners. You know, in Oslo, we formed a Palestinian partner. Without Oslo, there wouldn't be a Palestinian partner. If you don't have a Palestinian partner, with whom would you talk? And Arafat was the declared enemy. And finally, Arafat stood up and was forced to say that he's for 242, that he recognizes the state of Israel, and so on, he goes for peace. Now, first of all, I don't agree with Mr. Lieberman, and I'm saying it not on a political basis, but for a simple reason. I know Abu Mazen for the last 30 years. And I would ask Lieberman, I mean, a simple question: does he know any other Arab in the world that would stand up publicly and say, I was born in Sfat, but I don't go to return to Sfat? What does it say? What is a partner that they agree with you 100%? I know there are disagreements, and for that you need the negotiations. The purpose of the negotiations is to convert a non-partner to a partner, an opponent to a proponent. Otherwise, what are you going to do?
But Abbas, as you know, has now called on the Europeans, many of whose representatives are sitting here today, to withdraw from settlements. Surely such things are harmful to the peace process?
Well, we are at the beginning of the negotiations, and at the opening position, every party tries really to mobilize the maximum he can and put the most extreme positions he's able to. The purpose of the negotiations to go there from the opening positions to a different position. But also Abu Mazen said he didn't give up his hope for peace. He says that if we shall reach peace, there won't be any further demands. He says we don't want to return to the cities that were mentioned that he wants to return. He has some, I don't say that he agrees with us, if he would agree with it, or we don't agree with him. But there is enough material not only to open up the negotiations, but also to conclude them, in my judgment. Yeah. And look, on that case, I think I'm not less knowledgeable than anybody else. It's happened that I signed with Abu Mazen the agreement in Washington, and we have long talks. I know his way. I do believe that his choice is to arrive to an agreement as well.
Is there something you know that we don't? Has there been any progress in the negotiations?
If there would something happen, you would know before me, because the press knows everything.
Peres, who is a veteran reader of the Jerusalem Post, praised it as a responsible and consistent spokesman for Israel without losing its journalistic objectivity.